What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Echo Base Network. What we are looking at today is a very interesting thing. There are those in the media who are saying that Ahsoka in Star Wars is a huge success, that everything in the Star Wars galaxy is fine. But then there are those in the media who are saying that Ahsoka and its viewership is evidence that Disney Star Wars is failing. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. Coach here, Nick over there. We're looking at Ahsoka, and most importantly, we want to know what you guys think. We're just going to kind of measure the evidence. Nick, what do you think about all this?
We had this conversation the other day about, there's one side who's saying the numbers are, this is great numbers, and another side saying these aren't good numbers. So,
Right.
Yeah, definitely interested in taking a look and a little bit of a deep dive into this and see where we're actually really at.
Yeah, and look, somebody is spinning the narrative. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to go ahead and look at these articles right now.
Both sides can't be true.
All right, so it's just an analysis of the headlines. So this started with The Hollywood Reporter the day the Nielsen ratings came out just a few days ago. And here's what they say. Ahsoka makes strong debut on streaming charts. The Star Wars series is second among original series for its opening week. So the translation there is that everything is perfectly fine and wonderful. Disney Star Wars has knocked a home run with Ahsoka, that there's no reason to be troubled. And then, to back that up, Inverse reports Ahsoka Nielsen ratings prove Disney's Star Wars strategy is paying off. So again, there's another media entity saying everything is great in the Star Wars galaxy. Everything, it's kind of like Han Solo, Nick. Everything's fine here, fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then we move on and let's look at the other side. The other side, starting at from our friends over at That Park Place, they say Ahsoka viewership numbers from Nielsen do not impress. So everything there is not gloom and doom, but they're basically saying it's nothing to brag or write home about. And then to take that a step further, our friend John Trent over at Bounding into Comics says Ahsoka premiere viewership numbers are worse than The Mandalorian Season 2 and Obi-Wan Kenobi, according to new Nielsen numbers. And he takes it a step further, Nick, and I think this is the ultimate slight right here towards Disney Star Wars and what they've been giving us. Financial analyst calls for Disney to pull Marvel and Star Wars from Disney Plus after Ahsoka's premiere numbers show significantly declining viewership. So it really comes into question how many new fans are coming to Star Wars and how many people are enjoying what they're getting and not hitting the exits. We want to know, where's the reality?
Yeah, so for me personally, I think it's kind of where That Park Place is at is, the numbers aren't like in the trash. Like this is the worst ratings,
right?
Worst views ever. Like it's not doing anything. I just don't think the numbers are anything to write home about. It's not anything impressive. It's not like, blowing the charts up. It's not like millions and millions of people all across the world are just watching this show every single week.
Right.
And it might be the best. It could even be the most viewed show on Disney Plus at the time the episodes drop. But
Right.
The thing is, it's not, Disney Plus isn't like Netflix or Amazon or Hulu. They don't just have tons and tons of content that's constantly dropping on their platform, on a weekly basis. It's very limited. Everybody knows their most viewed show is, Bluey, the cartoon. So, for Disney Plus, are the numbers good? They're not great, but they're not just completely in the toilet either. But, for what they're spending on this show, I don't think the numbers justify what they're spending.
I think that's a great point. The show is expensive.
Yeah.
And right now, based on the viewership numbers and the ratings that we're getting, it doesn't look like to me that we're even going to get a second season of Ahsoka because it's not making enough money. If Kenobi had made more money and had a better reception, we would have gotten a Kenobi season 2. Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen want to do another season. So does Deborah Chow. they're not letting them do it because it didn't make enough money. And with so many losses that Disney has come out with, they have to be financially responsible and make better decisions. Star Wars is not something that they can bank on anymore. If you look at the Nielsen numbers, Nick, what I see is if you don't just look at Ahsoka, I'm with you. The numbers to me are very mid. The viewership numbers ratings for Ahsoka is very mid. There's some people that really love the show. That's great. But overall, it's not bringing in a whole bunch of new people. But the problem Disney has, it's a downward trajectory. Ever since season 2 of The Mandalorian, when it reached its height under Disney Star Wars, Book of Boba Fett, huge loss. Numbers are bad. Kenobi, loss. Numbers are bad. It was okay in the beginning, but people quit watching. Andor was mid in terms of numbers. Mandalorian Season 3 was mid and actually bad, significantly lower than the first 2 seasons. And now you have Ahsoka. So it's like, if every project that they roll out is not something that is successful, Star Wars is eventually going to wither away to nothing.
Yeah. And the problem here is Disney doesn't seem to know how to make TV. Episodic TV, and I think that's part of the problem. Star Wars has always been a big movie event. True. People lined up at the theaters. The thing is, they could have told these stories and dropped these in the theater. I mean, look at Ahsoka, for example. It's only 8 episodes. If you cut out all the slow walking and pauses and looking around and cut out all the
booty shots. All the booty shots.
Yeah, all the fluff and stuff. Like literally, this whole show could have been an hour and 45-minute long movie, right. and they could have told the same story, and the pacing probably would have been better. It feels like they're trying to make movies, but not put them in theater, and then just chop them up into episodes,
right.
Which doesn't work all the time, and they're not really doing it very well, in my opinion.
I'm with you. So look, with all that being said, I hope that the last 2 episodes of Ahsoka are outstanding and they knock it out of the park. We will be reviewing episode 7 tomorrow night when it drops. Yep. So come back and see. And here's the other thing. We're going to be authentic. We've gotten a lot of backlash when we've said that, that episode was a 6 out of 10. It's very mid. Man, people have come at us and people are unsubscribing and all that, but we are going to be authentic and tell you what we really think. So at least take refuge in knowing that this is a place where you will find authenticity. We don't play to the crowd. So we will be doing that tomorrow night. I want to see Star Wars be great again, but what we're getting right now does not really justify Star Wars. Star Wars is on a pedestal to me that is the best. That's not what we're getting right now, and I want to see it return to that.
Yeah. And the people that think it's worse than what we think it is don't understand how we just think it's a 6, like slightly below average. So
it's a 3. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, so we're getting it from both sides of both camps. It's not. We're not saying it's bad enough, or we're not saying it's good enough.
Right. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Most importantly, you chime in and let us know what you think. Where is the truth with Ahsoka right now? And overall, where's Star Wars at right now as a franchise? As we always say here, we are, you are, Echo Base Network. May the Force be with you. We'll see you tomorrow night at our Ahsoka review.
Bye, guys.